It would have been a lot cheaper for me if he had been successful keeping me out of trouble. Instead, he had to get me out of trouble. And over here is Dr. Bill Rushop and his wife Susan. And I have to tell you about them. Bill today is vice chairman of the Cleveland Clinic. And in 1972 or 3, Bill, I'm not sure which, 71? Two. My wife, who was a nurse, and how I met her was in the Navy, and she was a Navy nurse, and a damn fine Navy nurse, let me tell you. Came home from the Veterans Hospital in Dallas, where she was working, and said, you know, I've been bitching about these interns, including one real super smartass from Harvard, but there's this one intern from Pittsburgh who's really savvy, and can we have him over for dinner? And Bill and his wife and I and my daughters have been friends since 1972. And we got a chance to spend time with them in Hawaii. They came to visit us in California. They come here to go skiing. And there are several pictures of us. Bill, you got the funniest jean hat I've ever seen in my life, skiing here on Vail. And I'm honestly sorry that my former wife, the mother of my daughters, isn't here, because the love fest between the four of us was beyond description. So those folks I've known for more than 35 years, all of them. Sandy and Ned and Sue and Bill, as well as my daughters. And I'm trying to think who else is pre-Vail. And I apologize if there is someone here that's pre-Vail. Those folks go back a long time. And then since Vail, I can't tell you what a life I've had. And I was just telling Sandy, he's retired and living in Israel and having an absolute blast of his life. And oh, I want to tell you one more thing about Sandy. The first time I walked into his office when I was out in California after he came aboard, I am looking at this drawing on the wall. And this is an original drawing that's quite contemporary. And I said to Sandy, that looks like a work of Peter Max. Now, I don't know how many of you know the artist Peter Max.
Yes, sure.
And he says, it is. I said, Sandy, that's pretty special. He says, I was his chief financial officer in New York half a dozen years before. And I'd had a relationship with Peter Max in my time at Arthur Anderson and Company in the 60s up in Syracuse, New York. And some company I was auditing had been ripping off Peter Max, who had licensed them to build or make Chinaware with Peter Max's art on it. And we had to turn him in, and I remember going down to the New York office and explaining to Peter Max how many millions, hundreds of thousands of dollars he'd been ripped off. But here it was 3 years later, I meet a guy that had been a CFO in the interim. And then I'm looking at another picture, and it's Martin Luther King delivering his 1963 I Have a Dream speech from the Lincoln Memorial. And I remember exactly where I was. I was in Navy OCS in Newport, Rhode Island when he had that speech. And I'm looking, and I'm looking, and I'm looking, and I say, you know, is that you? And it's before he had a beard and when he had red hair. And he was there standing right next to Martin Luther King at that I Have a Dream speech. And to this day, I know that picture and exactly where he was. And every time you see something about Martin Luther King, and you see the I Have a Dream speech, there he is. So that's my buddy. Like, I can't tell you how much we've had friendship together. By far, there's too many names to mention since then. I do want to tell you that my daughter Pam got me up on a water ski today. First time. I think it's the first time since my daughter Kelly got me up naked down at Dot Zero.
Oh, yeah.
5 years ago, I guess it was, or almost.
Yeah.
So it's been a while, but a hip replacement in the interim, I kind of wanted to take it easy. And but I got up today and should do it again tomorrow. But I cannot describe how happy and thankful and appreciative I am for you all being here. And I almost ran over Andrew Lawrence today on a golf cart. We were coming in yesterday. Well, time flies. But I'm driving up our little driveway, and there's Andrew crisscrossing the road in their golf cart. And he was nice enough to stop. And we visited. But I first came to Vail in 1971, I think it was, or 2, and I fell in love with this place. And I hope no time soon, but I do want to die here. No time soon.
No time soon. No time soon. All right.